Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Wednesday, and we're at the 19th of January, 2022, about 7:35 p.m. A little bit of a bounce in the stock market, but down in the metals after a stellar performance day. They can afford to take a breather right here. Before I get too far, tomorrow I'm going to be on Fox Business News, so please tune in. That'll be around 3 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. So what we've got right now is a market that's got all kinds of headwinds. If you bothered to watch President Biden's 2-hour news conference, I don't think many of us stayed around for the 2 hours. But if you did, I was concerned with what he said, very much concerned about the Ukraine. And the market, I think, is looking at it like, wow. He basically gave, in my opinion, the green light for an incursion by Russia into the Ukraine in certain sections. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. At the same time, I know that they have met, because it's been in the news, with chip makers, and they're getting ready to put sanctions on there. The SWIFT banking system, they're getting ready to do it. So the chip makers will shut off, computer people will shut off, all that. But why would you possibly give and say to the Russians, in any manner, you can go and cross the border? I didn't get it, still don't get it. In fact, I don't get a lot of what he's doing. On the energy markets, a little bit of a pullback. But remember, if we get on Friday, these talks break down, and God forbid, if Russia does move into the Ukraine, what happens in the wheat market, the oil market, and go on, natural gas for Europe? I don't know. I don't know how strong NATO would be. I know if I'm a NATO member and I listen to President Biden, I'm on fire. The message to Russia should be, you don't move 1 inch into the Ukraine. Not you can move a little bit and then the U.S. might not care. What was that? I'm lost. Foreign currency markets, a little bit of all over. But when you look at the gold, come on, this is a nice move. The market got a thrust to it today. You can see that on the charts where it picked up. The pattern on the gold completely changed. Now you've got higher lows, higher highs. That's bullish. The market held on a pullback into the 200-day and the 18-day average of closes. So this is a thrust to the upside. The resistance, unfortunately, and I made mention of this earlier, even if it rallied, you got your Bollinger Band resistance right in front of you. Now, at some point, eventually the market doesn't care about the Bollinger Band and it gets an up thrust, but it needs a story. Now, it's got the inflation story, no question about that. It has a dollar that so far is not advancing. And remember, go take a look at my special currency report. I'll talk about it at the end of this, but all you need to do is at any point click up, move your cursor, and you can move right on just by clicking on the icon. It'll take you right where you have to go on our website. It's a video report. It's about 15 minutes long, and I cover the monthly, the weekly, the daily charts, and a lot of scenarios in there. But you're at a key resistance, but it's bullish. And when you look at momentum, it's overbought. This is the problem. Each time the market does this, you get up to these key numbers and you get overbought. Now, one time or the other, it might actually break through that. And when it does, it'll be a heck of a run, because this then all becomes a base if it does that, if it does that. When you come over to let me come here to the gold-silver ratio, you can see how you keep dropping, whereas silver's having a heck of a run right now. And when you look at silver, it did get over its upper Bollinger Band, but I think the market has got a lot of resistance, and I'm bullish. I think it has a lot of resistance between here, the upper band, and the 2476 level. Again, the market running. So what's it looking for? It's probably looking for that Russian invasion, and it says all things go. It's already got the inflation talk. All things go from there. So the market's trying to figure out what to do. Do I ever tell a client to buy at or above a Bollinger Band? Let me tell you this. Never. So if it goes without this guy. In the copper market, a whole game plan change out of China. China's now telling the property developers that the money that customers put into escrow for condominiums, homes, whatever they're buying from the developer, can now be used. You can tap that money to pay for the building, pay for expenses with the building, not for foreign financing, but for those elements. Well, that took the copper right on up. So you finished the copper market up today 2%. Big gain on the day, 8.5, 9 cents. It does have the headwind of the on January 31st, the lunar holiday, but the market's starting to say, hey, 443, that area, market's looking better and better, and now you have big support between 435.50 and 432.80, the lower band, but the story's changing. And you've got an inflation story, you've got a story where copper comes back into need instead of the property developers being on the lam, so to speak. Now they can use that money. It's going to help a lot of them, might get the market there picking up again. Platinum's trying to break out to the upside over the upper Bollinger Band. All the metals I said to the up today, even the palladium. But where did they all stop? Right at their upper Bollinger Bands, literally across the board, with the exception, I think, of the copper market that didn't make it there, but the rest right there. So you don't fight that. You're waiting on the pullbacks to take a look to see what to do. Now in the dollar, you can see the resistance points. I cover that in my special report. The trend of this market is down until you take out 95.81 on this chart pattern. If the dollar were to drop, you've got support between 94.77.5, 94.73.5. And as I said, I covered the dollar in great stead. Monthly charts, weekly charts, daily. Then I give you the seasonality for the charts. I cover what could happen in a 10-year bull market. In other words, looking at 10 years of what bull markets have done. And when you get that, then you get a picture as to what this pullback means. Is it part and parcel of that? But I want you to see the report and take it from there. To get the report, and it is right on the website, you just go to www.iraepstein.com under the word market research. And I hope you tune in to me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. Should be there waiting to wave to you on Fox Business. Take care.